Hello, everyone. This is Omni Talk Retail. I'm Chris Walton.
And I'm Ann Mazinga.
And we are coming to you live from the Meta and Omni Talk booth at Shoptalk. Come on by, say hello, and thanks to Meta, where you can supercharge your business results with Reels. And I know you like saying supercharge.
Yes.
Supercharge.
It reminds me of Mary Catherine Gallagher from Saturday Night Live and her superstar. But
superstar.
It's the end of the day.
It's the end of the day. It's our last interview of the day. You guys are not done, though. You guys are going to both I'm going to introduce our guests here in a second, but you guys are going to be on stage here in about an hour, give or take.
That's right.
Doing it again. But thanks to Meta for all their support of our work and helping us to make all of our interviews possible. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the woman standing in between Ann and myself, and that is Chris Rupp, the Chief Customer Officer at Victoria's Secret. She's been on our program before.
Yes.
Multiple times. Thanks again for being here, Chris. How are you doing today?
It's delightful to be here. I so enjoy talking to both of you. I learn so much every time.
Well, you and me both.
Yes, us
you
too.
And me both.
Us too. Well, let's start, Chris, by giving those in our audience who have not met you before, who are meeting you for the first time today, a little bit about your background and your role at Victoria's Secret.
Great. Well, I've spent a number of years in retail. Okay, over 30 years in retail. I started out in the traditional physical retail, department store, Montgomery Ward, then Sears.
Yes.
So 15 years of that. Learned a lot of great things. Then I moved over to technology and worked at Amazon for 10 years and then Microsoft for 4 years after that.
Yes.
And then after that I went to Albertsons to be Chief Customer Officer. Very interesting. It's almost like taking a school course at the end of all of your basic classes where you get to bring it all together.
Right.
And go through a digital transformation.
And during the pandemic.
Yes. And it was food, so it was important.
Yes.
Right.
You know, right?
Quite a bit.
Essential.
Yes. Essentials.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's quite all right.
Oh, I was thinking about asking you this before, but with the possible exception of Victoria's Secret, so we'll keep that one out. In that 30 years, what is your favorite category that you've been involved with? I wanted to ask you that before, but I wasn't ready to do it. So now I'm doing it because you're on our program.
Home fashions.
Home fashions. All right, that's my sweet spot.
I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I loved home fashions.
I love it. Yeah.
I like
when did you do
decorating.
that? When was that specifically in your career?
That was 92.
Was that at May?
That was at Montgomery Ward, and then 7 years of Sears.
Was in home fashions.
So it's almost 10 years in home fashions.
Wow, yeah.
And
right,
didn't you have to manually create some sort of order forms, if I remember correctly, in that job? Determining, it was very difficult. You set up the process so that people could know what they're ordering and what was going to be online or something, right?
Well, okay, so it was when I was doing Christmas buys for housewares at Sears.
Oh, God.
I was just using Excel.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out how many units of every item in housewares to buy for holiday. And you split it into 3 buys, and I put it on 3 different Excel spreadsheets, and somehow I could figure it all out on a spreadsheet.
Yeah, and there's many retailers still doing that.
Yes.
Yes, there are.
I do know.
In that category, even, I would say. Oh, my God. All right, so this is fun. This is a fun last interview of the day. So, all right, I might ask this of both of you, actually. So you're both on stage. We alluded to it before. So, Chris, I'm curious. Let's get your opinion first. But what are you excited to share about on stage when you think about particularly the Victoria's Secret customer and how you're trying to help them shop for bras or shop for whatever they're looking for with more confidence?
Well, one of the things that we're doing this year is launching Home Try-On. Mm-hmm. And now we're in the testing stages, so you can find it on our site today, but we just haven't gone very big with it yet because we're making sure the experience is a really good one.
Right.
I've received 2 boxes myself, so it's getting better and better.
All right.
But what this is you sign up for a subscription, and you get a box of products from us that include bras, panties, nightgowns, PJs, other things that we offer. Sports bras, could be leggings.
Yeah.
And so when you sign up for this program, you take a quick quiz, and we learn about your preferences, and then we start mailing you these boxes.
Okay.
When you get the box, you have 7 days to decide what you're keeping and what you're sending back.
Yeah.
And you send back whatever you like. You can send back the whole box if you want all the time. But, also when you receive this great box on your front doorstep, if we're getting it right, it's kind of exciting. It's like a box of gifts for yourself.
Right.
And it's kind of fun to go through. But it's also a place then you can try on these products in the privacy of your own home.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask Chris,
this
is kind of a personal question, but you've received 2 boxes. I mean, has the experience been different for you? Like, do you feel like the way that you're thinking about products as you're trying them on is different from when you might be in the dressing room?
I don't think that it's a different thought process than in the fitting room.
Okay.
But I think in your own home, having to change all of your clothes is more comfortable than doing that in a fitting room.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, it's just how intimate this purchase really is.
Yes.
It's just a different level of intimacy.
Right.
And you're eating what you cook, too. That's what I like about it. The chief customer officer's eating what she cooks in terms of understanding the products coming to the doorstep and what you're going to do with them, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You've always got to do that.
Can't be underestimated either.
No. Well, Chris, you are quite in demand here as a speaker, a big part of which because of your diverse background and experience. But one thing I want to focus on is your tech background. As you're in this new role at Victoria's Secret, what are the technologies that you're prioritizing to kind of deliver that really quality? If it's unified commerce, we're saying now.
No, we're not. We're still saying OmniTalk. I'm going to the grave on that one.
All right, is it going to be UniTalk?
No, that doesn't have the same ring to it. I don't quite think.
Maybe a Victoria's Secret, but not for us. It's not. No.
No, but what are those technologies that you're really exploring right now to help you create an optimal customer experience for Victoria's Secret customers?
Oh gosh, it's all over the place. But if I were to separate sort of, there's marketing, and then there's digital, and then there's stores.
Right.
And I'll start with stores, actually. So one of the things that we're doing in stores is that we have this technology called Crave in our fitting rooms.
Okay.
And that technology is RFID-enabled.
Okay.
So when you bring some products to the fitting room, we know what you brought to the fitting room.
Right.
And so if it's not working for you because you need a different size, it's easy to run and get you a different size. You just click a button. And if you need to know how washable is this product, or what do other customers have to say about it, we're putting information on the screen in the fitting room about that product. So we're giving you a lot of information to do your shopping on, and it's really helping our customers make decisions. But also, it's giving us a lot of data to use, to mine, to understand general customer preferences and their feedback on our products.
Right.
So there's, just a lot of great data that's being generated by this as well.
Yeah, and I imagine helps, give, like you were saying, give the consumer or the customer information about the products that, allows your associates in store the flexibility to be serving multiple customers at once. It's not waiting for somebody to come and say, do I have to hand wash this? Or what other sizes does this come in? And those kinds of things. Is that the case?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about that in stores. And then in digital, boy, I've always said digital is less about one big technology and more about the sum of hundreds of small things you do to make it easier.
Right.
But, I'm really excited about new payment options we're putting in. I'm really excited about same-day delivery services that we've recently launched in about 5 stores where we're testing those capabilities. Convenience. Every customer is still going to look for how do they optimize their time. And I think the more convenient we can make these shopping experiences, the more customers will convert.
Right. That's a great point. We always talk about retailers are actually competing on time, more so than anything. So I'm curious, of all the things that your tenure's been relatively short. You're fairly new, but you've done some cool things already, like you just mentioned. Of the things that you've seen or piloted, what could you tell the audience that's either here at the show or back home where you would say, you know what, I would take a look at this because it's gonna be fruitful?
Okay, let me think which one.
Or it could be more than one.
Yeah,
it could be more than one.
Well, okay.
Like I'm curious, RFID comes to mind for me. Like, is that one bubbling to the top, or?
Well,
I don't want to put words in your mouth either.
I love the RFID technology because it's really helping the sales associates in the stores to find the products a lot easier, especially BOPUS products and things like that when they're trying to hunt those down.
Yep.
So
which is almost impossible before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. You can walk around with the pad and it starts pinging when you get close. So I think that's exciting. But one of the more overused terms at this conference is Gen AI.
Yeah.
And and we probably all get tired of talking about it, but I think that there's some great application for Gen AI in the store environment that's really going to help sales associates.
Okay.
So, if you think about how much turnover you get in retail and how new some of the associates are on the floor, and then how complex the bra purchase is, just sizing a bra, so being able to have, a mobile device in your hand that you carry around with you that you could just say, if we don't have 36C, what's the sister size?
Yes.
Or, what's our policy on what I can wear to work on Black Friday?
Right.
Or, there's a million questions you could ask that if you had an AI-trained model that understood all of the things about our products, our policies, our store environment, everything.
Even if it's your training manuals, right? Yeah.
I have to pause because I think that's so important for this purchase. And I think one of the challenges, quite frankly, that I think a lot of providers in the intimate space have is that you don't want somebody that's inexperienced. Like I, as a 40-something woman, I don't want to be having a 16-year-old coming up to me who has no experience, who I know more about the products because I've been wearing them for longer than she's been alive. Like I need somebody who knows what they're talking about, and I think this kind of tool really provides so much potential for them to just, be outside or be like, I don't know the answer to this question. But let me find out and I'll be right back. It's not finding a manager or somebody in the store. It's like right away being
on the
able
spot
to get
training.
that.
Like get the information that you need right now.
And gives them the confidence, like Chris was saying, like helps train them too to remember those things the next time they're asked. So
that's a good point though. There's a built-in customer bias, particularly in Victoria's Secret. Potentially.
Yeah.
You could disagree with me, for sure, but I think, Yan, you're onto something. Like that, you've got to help the store associates overcome, right? When they're face to face with that customer.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Chris, any other exciting things that we should be on the lookout for in the year ahead? We're looking for the home try-on for sure, but any other new things that we should be aware of?
Well, we're going to dabble a bunch in AI like everybody else and figure out all the places we should use it. So I told you the first place we're going to use it, but we're going to dabble in a few others. And we're just really excited about bringing our store and digital together with experiences that can transverse both. Returns are going to be easier. Shipping is going to be easier. Like so many things that a customer is trying to get done, we're going to give her every option there is for doing it her way.
Yes. Well, they certainly have the right person in role, Chris, to help them actually go out, execute. Somebody who's in the stores, trying things on, doing all the things to really optimize that experience for me and other Victoria's Secret customers. So with that, Chris, anything else you'd like to ask in closing?
Well, yeah, I just picked up on this actually. So I'm curious, like, is that a mantra for you, Chris? Like, especially in the role of Chief Customer Officer, to
good question.
To save your customers hassle, to save them time. Is that just like a continual mantra that you think, whether implicit or explicit, that drives you day in and day out?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think, that was true for me even 20 years ago. Because, when I was working, even at Sears 20 years ago, I was thinking about all weekend long, I was going to have to do errands. I was going to have to drop off my dry cleaning and go shopping and do all the things because, e-commerce wasn't a thing back then. And then when I went to Amazon to work, and I realized, how simple it is to order at Amazon and ship, do all your Christmas shopping, do a lot of your weekly errands, I realized that the mission in digital shopping is saving people time, and giving them their lives back.
I remember you saying that at Albertsons too. Like that was a key focus of yours.
Yeah.
Even during the pandemic.
I've always thought it was important to be able to, and shopping is a lot of the burden of the woman in the family, but for whoever it is the burden for, I just think saving people time is a worthwhile cause.
So yeah, it's a universal truth that is your mantra. So great. Thank you for sharing that with us. And thank you for being here as well. Thank you to Meta for sponsoring all of our interviews from this show.
Yes.
We're going to be back live on Shoptalk TV tomorrow, which is also sponsored by Meta, with our Fast 5 Live around 3 p.m., 2:45, 3 p.m. I'm not really sure, but just be on, because at some point we'll be on and we'll be going live through your feed, and you're going to love it. It's going to be awesome, and you should check it out. And we're going to be talking about all the headlines from the past week. So until then, Ann,
be careful out there.